Democratic politicians and bootleggers, here's your chance. House once again challenging your moral compass. Mahmoud Khalil, who is an Ivy League graduate from Columbia University, who has been detained and taken to Louisiana.
Oh, is you cool? I'm asking for a friend. Because you did not just call us bootleg and turned around and said, I want to challenge your moral compass. You better use that compass to find your...
Vote for Donald Trump, but do not give a vote to Kamala Harris.
Maya and them to the front, because y'all need to be reminded of the damage that your vote did to all of us. He is married to a U.S. citizen, and his wife is 8 months pregnant.
To those of you that are celebrating Muhammad Khalil's arrest, number one, you sound ignorant. Number two, this is going to be a repeat of what the United States government did with the Patriot Act, where they convinced all of you that it was going to be for foreign adversaries and they were going to spy only on foreign adversaries and not on the American people. And now every single thing you do is monitored. And they convinced you, because you guys are all so worried about everybody else, that it's for foreign adversaries, and now they use it on you. This arrest of Muhammad Khalil is a testing ground. It is a testing ground to see if they can legally detain legal residents and make them disappear. Muhammad Khalil is a legal resident. He is.
So the question to you is, are you gonna uphold the legal status of this man? Or are you gonna stand with the fascist government that we have right now? Because everything the Democrats say is BS.
Okay, let me preface this by saying what is happening right now to Mahmoud is horrific. But I am struggling to understand what you missed during this election cycle. What did you expect was going to happen? This country elected a man who was very clear about the fact that he criminalizes any form of dissent. And the Democrats told you this was exactly what was going to happen, and you demonized them over and over again. And somehow it's still their fault? You didn't vote for them. They are out of power in every single branch.
Hey fam, it's Gracie here once again. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that from wherever you my lovelies are watching this from, you're doing alright and God has protected you and preserved you very well. As always, I do appreciate all of you that keep supporting, and to my members, a shout out to you guys for supporting exclusively. As always, we are definitely back with another interesting episode. Just like you have seen in the teaser, yes, propolies are at it again, baiting and begging black people to come and save Muhammad Khalil. I don't know if I said the name right, excuse me. But he was abducted on presidential orders, and that's Trump putting in, like in action. One of the things that he had promised when he came in power, he's going to do this to these people, and that he's going to provide no room for one of their own to protest about Pali at all. And now that this man has been abducted, these people are resorting to insulting and abusing black people, while in the same breath begging them to come and do something. You cannot make these things up. We have to watch all these clips all together, and also other stitches from black people and what they think about this situation. Of course, we'll watch this, come back and talk about it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're landing on here for your very first time.
Democratic politicians and bootleggers, here's your chance. Palestine is once again challenging your moral compass. Mahmoud Khalil, who is an Ivy League graduate from Columbia University, who has been detained and taken to Louisiana without the knowledge of his lawyers or his family. Make no mistake, he's been arrested because he's Palestinian, but he is...
Oh, is you cool? I'm asking for a friend. Because you did not just call us bootlickers and then turned around and said, I want to challenge your moral compass. You better use that fucking compass to find your ass a motherfucking Jill Stein or find your ass a Maya Aoni. Where the fuck are they? I know y'all not talking about moral compass because, bitch, y'all ain't give a fuck about us and what happened to our people and our children here in America. Y'all are one-issue voters, right? Remember, y'all are one issue. The only thing that matters was Palestine. Y'all fucked over y'all own people, baby. And so, yes, we're going to sit here and we're going to watch y'all asses get arrested. We're going to watch them try to expel y'all from school. We're going to watch them try to revoke your visas. We're going to watch this shit from the comfort of our motherfucking homes. We not moving for nobody, okay? Especially y'all. Especially y'all. Y'all wanted us. Y'all wanted us to learn a lesson during the election. Bitch, you about to learn yours. I have no sympathy for y'all. And we're not going to help y'all. Y'all are anti-black. Y'all are racist. Y'all are disrespectful. And y'all don't deserve our help. If Kamala Harris couldn't help y'all and wasn't worth y'all vote, a black person can't help you either. You're on your own. So pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas activists at universities are now being arrested under the Trump administration for protesting the Hamas and Izzy situation. Okay, I can't say what I want to say. The G side, y'all know what it is. Okay, so y'all being arrested. Frumpy said that if you are not from this country and you here on a visa and you protested, you're getting deported. All right, he's already deported one of y'all, and he also said for the other ones, y'all getting arrested, or y'all gonna be kicked out of your schools. So people like Maya and other activists that were running their mouth about how bad it would be to put Kamala in office because Kamala is just like Frumpy. Look at you now. I swear, y'all are like the leopards are eating your faces. I swear the leopards are eating your faces. This is what y'all get. You got what you voted for, or didn't vote for, or asked people to sit out from. Now y'all being arrested. Now y'all being persecuted for using your First Amendment right, which would have never happened under Kamala Harris's administration. It would have never happened. So as he's rounding y'all up and deporting y'all or arresting y'all or expelling y'all, please be reminded that this is what you fought for. You fought for your First Amendment right to be stripped. You can't make these stories up.
Democratic politicians and bootlickers, here's your chance. Palestine is once again challenging your moral compass.
You didn't hit up Maya? What about Madeline with the crunchy bangs? You didn't hit them up? I thought y'all said we don't have a moral compass. So what do we have to prove here? We're minding our own black behind business. What do you need from us? We tried our best. We did our part on November 5th. We tried to prevent things like this from happening. We got ridiculed for it. We got vilified for it. We chilling. We vibing. We chilling, we vibing. And most importantly, if anybody knows like a decent, and I mean a real decent, you know what I'm saying, collard green recipe, please put that in the comment section below. I don't know if I should use turkey neck,
Democratic politicians and bootlickers, here's your chance. Palestine is once again challenging your moral compass. Mahmoud Khalil, who is an Ivy League graduate from Columbia University, who has been detained and taken to Louisiana without the knowledge of his lawyers or his family. Make no mistake, he's been arrested because he's Palestinian, but he is a green card holder. He is a legal resident of the United States, and they're threatening to revoke him and deport him. Revoke, like, the card. So the question to you is, are you gonna uphold the legal status of this man? Or are you gonna stand with Israel and you're gonna stand with the fascist government that we have right now? Because everything the Democrats say is BS.
Okay, let me preface this by saying what is happening right now to Mahmoud is horrific. But I am struggling to understand what you missed during this election cycle. What did you expect was going to happen? This country elected a man who was very clear about the fact that he criminalizes any form of dissent. And the Democrats told you this was exactly what was going to happen, and you demonized them over and over again. And somehow it's still their fault? You didn't vote for them. They are out of power in every single branch. You acted as though it would be easier to organize under Republicans than Democrats. He's attempting to end all forms of organization. God, under a Republican administration, a Republican House and Senate, a conservative majority on the Supreme Court, we are still blaming Democrats? I just need you guys to be serious for 30 seconds. Just make it make sense. What blows my mind is you are asking for the Democrats to help because you know in your heart they are against this. But if you knew they were against it, why didn't you vote that way? I fear that us libs are trapped watching an FAFO tennis match between you and MAGA. And I'm not gonna lie, the whiplash we're getting watching both sets of you find out is killing us.
To those of you that are celebrating Muhamoud Khalil's arrest, number one, you sound ignorant. Number two, this is going to be a repeat of what the United States government did with the Patriot Act, where they convinced all of you that it was going to be for foreign adversaries and they were going to spy only on foreign adversaries and not on the American people. And now every single thing you do is monitored. And they convinced you because you guys are all so worried about everybody else that it's for foreign adversaries and now they use it on you. This arrest of Mahmoud Khalil is a testing ground. It is a testing ground to see if they can legally detain legal residents and make them disappear. Mahmoud Khalil is a legal resident. He is married to an American citizen. He has not broken any laws. There are no charges against him. And when his lawyer asked for the warrant, they said they didn't have one and that his green card was being revoked. What did Muhammad do in order to get his green card revoked? They said Hamas-like activity. He organized pro-Palestinian protests against a genocide that has been declared.
Vote for Donald Trump, but do not give a vote to Kamala Harris.
Maya and them to the front, because y'all need to be reminded of the damage that your vote did to all of us.
Developing story on the campus of Columbia University. A student connected to pro-Palestinian protests last year has been detained by ICE. This comes on the heels of President Trump announcing the university will be stripped of federal funds.
Late last night, Mahmoud Khalil, the chief negotiator for the Columbia student protest in support of Palestine, was detained by ICE without a warrant. Khalil, who was initially in the U.S. on a student visa, has since obtained a green card and is legally residing in the U.S. He is married to a U.S. citizen, and his wife is 8 months pregnant. ICE agents reportedly ambushed Khalil and his wife as they entered their apartment building, pushing their way in and threatening to detain his wife if she interfered. They then arrested Khalil without a warrant. His lawyer called ICE and asked them for a warrant. They hung up on her. Since then, Khalil has disappeared. ICE first told his wife he was being held in Elizabeth, New Jersey, but when she arrived, he was nowhere to be found. Due to public outrage, Senator Marco Rubio and the State Department made statements suggesting they intend to revoke the green cards of protesters deemed inappropriate by the U.S. government, something they have no legal authority to do. Only a judge can revoke a green card, and ICE does not have the power to unilaterally strip legal residents of their status for exercising free speech. This is a test. This is a test to see how far they can push the boundaries of repression. They deliberately targeted someone controversial to gauge public reaction. If ICE can unlawfully detain a legal resident with a green card for protesting, they can do it to any one of us. This is a blatant violation of the First Amendment, immigration law, human rights protections. It's a violation of the UN Charter on Human Rights. If left unchallenged, it opens the door for the government to silence anyone it deems inconvenient. An update for Khalil is that thankfully a federal judge has blocked the Trump administration from deporting Khalil. This puts all of us protesters at risk, whether we're indigenous or whether we're green card holders, because if they can illegally abduct Khalil and make him disappear, then they can do it to any one of us, and they will, as long as we let them get away with it.
Democratic politicians and bootlickers, here's your chance. Palestine is once again
You know, it's late. I'm wide awake. I'm tired. And this filter is the only thing that I can actually deal with in the dark. So let me say this. First of all, go support Nene. Nene. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to mispronounce your name. She's great. And she's right. I don't understand. And I'm Southern. Why do people bite the hand that tries to feed you? Why are you mocking black people by calling us bootlickers? Or anybody else that supports Palestine a bootlicker, and then condescendingly trying to motivate us to help you? Okay? It's rude. It's callous. And it makes you look stupid. And I'm calling a spade on that one. If you want people to help you, then you don't mock them, denigrate them, and just treat them like the boots that you want us to lick. You don't do that. You ask. You work in conjunction with people to try and help you. This expectation from a person that is almost as brown as me and then still wants to insult me because I'm black. Girl, bye. That's such an oxymoron. I don't even know what to say. But I do know what to say about you. Take your condescension, take your racism, and stick it where the sun don't shine, please. Because that's where it belongs. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. And since you just full of vim and vinegar, stay in your own lane. Me and the other black people, we're going to rest because we're tired. I will do my best to advocate for people of all color because of my profession. But, no, not for people like you. And really, please get off your high horse being the same skin tone as I am, because somebody else is going to need that room, okay? Again, please stop, because we're not going to help you, because all you do is know how to be rude and talk down to us. You have the day that you deserve, ma'am.
I seriously don't even have to look for perfect examples of how everyone in our community, Latinos, African Americans, Palestinian Americans, Arab Americans in general, upon Asian Americans, like every single cousin, primo community that we share is all interconnected and all suffering under so many things that are happening in our government from both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Mahmoud Khalil is a grad student from Columbia University who was one of the primary negotiators between the Palestinian encampment movement and the school to divest money away from corporations funding the Palestinian genocide. I don't have to tell you how the media, mainstream media, was not a good source to understand what happened during the encampments and what brought them on. I do not have to tell you that schools like Columbia, Pepperdine, etc., Princeton, big private colleges that are considered Ivy Leagues are no longer just schools, they're corporations. They suck students dry for a career that they tell us we need. And I'm not going to deny that a lot of the times we do need it. We do. But the way that these schools suck the living financial life out of their students should be criminal. The pro-Palestinian encampments were there because those universities also divested money or put money into corporations that were helping Israel commit their genocide on Palestinians. We never saw the negotiations. We never heard properly any of their demands and any of their actions or why they did the actions that they did. All we saw was a gross misrepresentation of their movement while they were being attacked, harassed by counter-protesters while the literal police stood there and did not stop these attacks. They were attacked at night. They were pepper sprayed. They were thrown with large objects. And I'm not talking about one school like Columbia. I'm talking about almost every encampment suffered some kind of violence while also being portrayed to be aggressive towards certain students, preventing them from going to school, which was simply not true. They were not blockading anything. They were sitting on campus as protests, just like many of the students that were protesting the Vietnam War did. And we all know how that ended. And if you don't, look up what happened to students who formed an encampment and protested on school grounds the Vietnam War. Look at what the police did to them. Mahmoud Khalil, like I said, is a grad student who came here through the right channels with a green card and a wife who is an American citizen and is currently pregnant. And the Department of Homeland Security came and by definition kidnapped him because he was part of the pro-Palestinian encampment. Just like our Latino community, Palestinian Americans are now going to be facing the aggression of ICE because of their stance on their people who have been suffering for 16 months. And if you think that that ceasefire is still valid, Israel has not stopped their aggression since that ceasefire was announced. Just a few days ago, they cut off electricity to the Gaza Strip, at least the north of Gaza. A few months ago, they kidnapped the head of a hospital, a doctor, and is currently detaining him and torturing him. That is why Palestinian Americans are speaking up, because for 16 months they watched their people suffer under the occupation and the aggression of the IDF and Israel. And now, just like our Latino community, they're going to be the victims of ICE. Grad students, students going to university to get a career and is here with legal immigration status, married to an American citizen with a baby on the way, and he got kidnapped. His wife probably still doesn't know where he is. And thanks to a New York judge, his deportation was blocked. And we're not only talking about Palestinian students or Palestinian American students, we're talking about every student who understood what this aggression is and what this occupation is that Israel is doing to Palestinians and trying to ethnically cleanse them. Everyone who is here with a student visa or green card, practicing their, as legal status, their First Amendment right, which is something that we apparently as Americans pride ourselves in having, are now in danger of being deported because they practiced freedom of speech. So when I say with my whole chest that every single one of our struggles is interconnected, and that when they come for one of us, they'll eventually come for all of us. And if you have the mentality that, no, they're not going to come for me. Well, they came for them, but they're not going to come for me. Well, they came for the Latino community, they're not going to come for me. Well, they came for the Palestinian community, they're not going to come for me. When they come for you and you turn around, there will be nobody left to help you because they had already come for everybody. You don't need to search far as to why the Palestinian cause is a great highlight and a great moral compass to what will be happening to our communities. You just need to learn how to observe and critically think about it. And just like you stood up for our Latino brothers and sisters during the deportation protests, I suggest you stand up for Mahmoud Khalil, a grad student whose only crime was to stand up for people suffering a G-side, practicing freedom of speech and practicing his ability to negotiate with a corporation that is Columbia University to divest their money away from companies supplying weapons and money to Israel. But who am I to say it? Go look it up yourself. Try to stay away from main media who twist the story. Look for primary sources and maybe secondary sources. But really, really learn how to look for primary sources. And just a reminder, the Democratic Party will not be the savior of our communities. They are a controlled opposition neither the Republicans nor the Democrats. Because if the Democrats are capable of voting and censoring one of their own party members for standing up to the president during his speech while he was spewing rhetoric that is dangerous and borderline fascist, like getting rid of Medicaid, if the Democratic Party is capable of censoring one of their own for doing that, for standing up, for actually verbally protesting instead of holding up stupid signs, what do you think they're going to do for us and to us? Just like we spoke up for our gente, let's speak up for Mahmoud Khalil. Because that's how we're all connected.
I could not believe my ears when the same person that came asking for help, in the same breath, insulted people and called them bootlickers. That's the arrogance, the audacity, the nerves, and how self-centered and selfish you have to be to need help. But even when you need this help, you have to bait people for them to engage, and you think you're going to receive any good news out of this. This man is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he's going to revoke all the visas for the Palis students, for the Arabs and the Muslims. He said that clearly. Everybody was watching. And these are the same people that told everybody, do not vote for Kamala. If you still want to be part of us, do not vote for Kamala. These people went ahead and doxed one of the black creators. Her name is Tori, for actually standing up against them. They begged her, actually insulted her and commanded her to get the Pali flag out of her bio, because apparently she was campaigning for Kamala. And right now that things are going bad, they are coming, they are at it again, begging, but not in a manner that is worthy of begging or asking, not in humility, but rather with a lot of pride and a lot of arrogance and nerves, and feeling like, they are entitled to being helped. I ask such people questions like, how many black people have you seen coming out to ask for help when Donald Trump and his people are suggesting to literally release the murderer of George Floyd? Mention one that has come to beg your community to come and help. Black people know how to fight, right? The street of Black Lives Matter was demoralized, and it's going to be replaced, like everything is going to be wiped out. And that reminded black people of their own struggle towards their own lives. How many black people have you seen coming out begging and insulting people? It is so crazy that when you need help, there's only one group of people that you have to run to, but you don't run with your hands open and desperate, but rather you run with your hands holding insults for this community, and you expect them to come and help. The disrespect these people hold for the black community is very evident. It is very self-explanatory, and I don't think at this point they even need to be saying anything. People have been accusing them of anti-blackness and calling black people names. And they were saying, no, we don't. Well, now it is coming out. Nobody is forcing them. Nobody is actually triggering them to say the things they are saying. They are saying these things sanely. But you know what is very crazy? When things go bad, that is when you're going to start seeing some of their people coming out saying, oh, we are sorry, this is not what we said. Because I've seen a debate between Tory, who was doxed by these people, literally being put on a spot by this so-called Lady Maya, Ioni or something like that. And she's trying to gaslight her and saying, oh, I didn't say these things. And Tory was losing it. So it is very, very, I think at this point, every group is just exposing themselves for who they are. And I think at this point, really, you should leave the black community alone. You literally discouraged everybody from voting Kamala. And now you are begging for help from Democrats. Make that make sense. How do you literally discourage people from voting for a woman, thinking that the man himself, the bigot, is gonna make things better for you? But whatever he promised to do to you, he is doing it. And you know, this is very interesting to me, watching all these things, because I've been covering and bringing all these episodes on here. This man is not just targeting you in the US. This man is literally targeting you even when you go back to your country. He literally said he wants to turn the Gaza to something that I don't even want to mention on here. He want to buy it. He want to own it. Imagine spoiling it and ruining it for you in the US, but also coming where you come from for you, like he comes for you. And he comes for your people. Don't think that the things that have been going and happening to your people, this man has not been seeing. It's not because he cares. Of course, whatever was done to Muhammad is not the right thing. We are not trying to say, you know, it's the right thing. Free speech in the US is really not a thing anymore. Literally, your speech can get you in trouble, which is exactly why Muhammad is in this position. And he shouldn't be in that position, because the US is a democracy and people have been bragging about this. But at this point, under this dictatorship, under the king, yeah, things are gonna be way, way more different. And I hope that people like them that come on the internet to bait really watch it, because anytime, don't think the target is going to be on only him. It's going to be a target on a lot of them. This man is a green card holder. He's not even an illegal one, right? But if he can literally go for a green card holder, imagine you who is on a student visa, because majority of these people are on student, visas. Imagine if you could go for someone that is literally married to a US citizen. And this is not just going to apply to only Pali people. This is literally going for everybody, because the man himself and Musk, they don't want to be challenged. They are putting the country in jeopardy and in this state. But the gaslighting, the insults, and the disrespect and anti-blackness should stop, for goodness sake. If you really don't want to come in humility, don't come at all. Because what is the essence of you coming and insulting, then ask for help? Because trust me, I know you did not expect them to come and help after you saying what you said. Anyhow, my people, I want you to let me know what you think. I think this got into my feelings. Apologies. I want you to let me know what you think in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel once again for more episodes like this. And I will definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love all of you. Bye.